So right now, I'm just going to run through some basic arrows that you can shoot as Sova on split. To start, if you get in this corner, this arrow will end up going heaven on the box and allow you to spot anyone there. You're going to aim about right here. It's hard to set up at first, but once you get the hang of it, for me, I set up my top bar and my crosshair on the top of that leaf, and then go a little over to the right onto that leaf. Once you're fully charged, you go back to the same position, just drag down a little, and then you'll fire fully charged, no bounce. And what this arrow will do, it takes about 9 to 10 seconds to land. It will lob all the way up, and it will land on the box, on heaven, and it allows you to spot people heaven or playing up here in the rafters. And it's a really good arrow for at least seeing a general idea of who is on site and where they are at the start of the round. Because you can see anyone playing up here all the way around the corner, along with checking all the heaven angle. If you go back to roughly the same spot, this time you're going to get on this box right here. You're going to aim at this bar, about there, and you're going to aim over to the middle right here, and you're going to 1 tick fire. And what that arrow will do is that will land on the wall right here, which will allow you to see people heaven along with anyone in the back of the general site area. There is also an arrow that requires you to expose yourself a little more. If you expose a little bit of the gap here, you're going to want to double bounce, aim at the rightmost portion of this wall, and then you're going to 2 tick fire. That arrow will land on the ground right here and expose anyone playing in the back sight or in the front sight. If you want a little deeper back sight, that for an arrow that actually requires them to turn their back, you can do the same thing but with 3 power. And what that arrow will do will require them to turn a little if they want to kill it, giving you a little bit of time to peek out and get the angle under control. Now if you're trying to defend B, you can line this up. It's very generous, it doesn't really matter. I typically line it up with the B over, set up at the start of the round. You're going to double bounce and then just 3 fire left. That arrow is going to jump up here, can spot anyone who's trying to push in and give you an idea of an early rush. If you want a little bit of a slower arrow, what you can do is line yourself up right here. You're going to look all the way up to this bar, line it up over till you hit these wires and aim in between them is what I typically do. Then you're going to charge shot. And what this arrow will do, so it'll plop down right here behind them, and it actually can see into mid, so you'll be able to know if they're pushing mid or if they're pushing in, although it is slightly slower. Now we're going to move on to mid. So if you want to take mid, and you have a teammate watching so they don't push, you can set up in this corner right here. And what you're going to do is aim at this pole over to this pole up. This arrow is also kind of forgiving, so you aim about right here. 1 for fire. And what this arrow is going to do, it's going to just pop over, like right in the center. You can usually get about 1 tick off, and it can see if anyone's on the right side, center, or it can also spot both sides of heaven unless they're playing the really far back angle. And even if they end up shooting this arrow and destroying it immediately, you'll know where they are from where the shots came from. So it works really good with a mid take as long as you have some other people with you. Now if you're trying to defend A, you can do 2 arrows here. What you want to do is you want to line this black up till it's almost invisible, and then you're going to aim in the top on the green in the center. You want to 1 bounce it, 2 charge or 1 charge, it doesn't matter. If you 2 charge it, this arrow will come up here and spot anyone who is trying to push mid, along with people in sewers. If you want to use this as more of an attack arrow, because you know they push fast every round, you can get the same setup. You do 1 charge but 1 bar, and you can shoot a shock dart, and it will land right there and be able to get a lot of damage out. Pretty easy, pretty safe. Now, if you're right here and you just want a general idea of where they are mid or getting them off distracted, you can line yourself up with this. Aim about the center of this, and then over left a little and down a little, and then you just 1 bounce it with 2 charge. And this arrow goes down, can see deep mid. A similar arrow is you can just right here, 1 charge, double bounce, and that will also be able to tell if they're in the general idea. Or if you want, you can shoot it farther. Not that far, but farther. And this will cause them to, a lot of times, shoot at it and give you a little bit of a peek window where you can peek anyone sitting there. Now for the ropes angle, you can line up just on the back corner of this, aim just at the dead center of this line, double bounce an arrow, and that will come up right here. Give you a general idea if anyone's right above ropes, so you can get a quick peek off without really any worry. Another similar arrow is on the same exact thing, but just the other side. Same situation, you're here, double bounce it up. That arrow checks everywhere here that's not directly around the corner. So when you peek up, you still will have to check this, but you can check everywhere else too, and it's pretty simple, pretty easy, and allows you to see everything you need to. So now, if you're trying to spot mid and you're kind of stuck behind here, you want to know if anyone's there, you can just do a single bounce to recharge just anywhere really off this wall, and that will give you a good spot of if anyone's pushing down ramp area, or give your teammates some time to figure out what's going on. One, if you're the ramp player and you're playing at the start of the round, you can get in position right here. You will aim at this little, there's a squiggly line right here, you're going to aim at the bottom tick of this next to that, and you're going to full charge double bounce it just off that bottom tick. And what this arrow will do is it will bounce right up here, and it will allow you to spot everyone pushing down, anyone already pushed, and it will give your teammate time to push if you have someone playing main, because it will catch the peeker attacker off too. Similarly, we're now going to move to attack on A, where what you're going to want to do is get on this for both arrows that I'm about to show you. For the first one, you're going to want to line it up off here. You're going to take this just over a little bit. I use my crosshair as a guide and up a bit, so you're in about in this position. How I judge it is I put my leftmost of my crosshair on that, up with my leftmost of my crosshair. What you want is you're just going to one charge go. And what this arrow is going to do is it's going to watch itself in the windowsill up here, and it will allow you to see anyone in heaven. You can't hide around any of these corners, back all the way up here. The only angles it will not spot is the guys up in ramp or over in this corner. And what that to get around that, if you want to single bounce this arrow, it can go down a little farther and spot those guys, but it also won't give you lines of sight. So if I shoot that again, but with one bounce, the arrow is now going to bounce down into heaven and see this doorway a little bit more. You can double bounce it with a little more power, and it will bounce off this wall and come down here and can see the back corner. But overall, I don't find that useful compared to this one, because this one will see people most places on site, along with most places heaven. Now, if you have like a brimstone on your team and they do smoke heaven, and you're worried someone's going to play in one of those angles down here, there's another arrow from the same exact spot you can do. You're going to get here. You're going to aim at this black dot right up here, and you're going to go up, not quite halfway, but just a little bit up, and you're just going to tap. And what that arrow will do is it will lob itself onto the box on the side and check anyone that's over here or down here. If you want to get it onto the box, what you can do is you can aim it a tad bit lower, I believe, or I'm sorry, a tad bit higher, and shoot. And what this arrow will do is that will get on the box and see everyone along the side. It will miss this back corner, but as long as you have a brimstone smoking heaven, this area will reveal a lot of sight as well, along with the guy under, and can give you a pretty easy A take.